Hello, I'm here on Railway Street in Littleborough. The Roch is to our right hand side here. This always used to be a cul-de-sac, and it still is for cars, but now it's the start of something called the Three Bridges Cycleway, which I think, at least as far as Rochdale is concerned, it will pretty much follow the Roch, the same path as the Roch, so we'll see how much more new footpath there is to explore here. This part of the Roch's journey, for the next mile or so, has completely changed in character over the past 30 years, and a lot of it will be new to me because of that, even though I've walked it before, so we'll see. So we're now on the cycleway and the Roch is here, trickling nicely, but not very scenic here, between a wire fence and a brick wall. I'm presuming this cycleway was a planning gain from all the new housing that's been built along here. This notice here on a construction site, which has temporarily changed the route of the path, is telling you that there will be a new bridge, the Riverstone Bridge, to prevent flooding of the Roch. Littleborough did have floods about 3 years ago, so this will alleviate the problem. Right, now this footpath running off Stubley Mill Lane is one of the first that I ever explored independently back in 1977, and it's just changed utterly. This was all just sort of empty scrub land, and with a rough path running through the tussocks, and now, well, see for yourself. It does further on become Stubley Mill Lane. Hello, this is more what I remember. This site used to have a works known as Stubley Mill Fold, and it used to be a glue works at one time, which produced a terrible smell for nearby residents. And there's a footpath going up there under the railway called the ABC Steps, but there aren't 26 of them, in case you were wondering, so I can't tell you why it's got that name. And yeah, we'll carry on. The Roch is a bit further on down that way. Although we're now walking through the wide floodplain of the Roch, because it's still fairly narrow, you can't get a good sight of it from here, but it is running along that channel there, and below Higher Field Farm. And looking ahead, you can start to see the landmarks of Rochdale. You've got the Town Hall spire. That's not Rochdale Parish Church, that's the St James's, the Ukrainian church, and to the right of that old chimney you've got the flats at College Bank, or the Seven Sisters as they're known. Hello, and we're now on Cleghol Bridge, which has seen better days actually. You can see it's crumbling away. I don't know if this is the result of lorries bumping it or vandalism or what, but it certainly could do with a bit of attention. And that's the Roch going back towards Smithy Bridge, and this is the Roch heading in the direction of Rochdale. Nice to see a few ducks swimming underneath the pipes. This isn't more scenic area, so we'll be fairly brief around here. And here is a view of the bridge just from the Rochdale side, showing that actually there's different stages of building here. You can see that the arch doesn't quite match the parapet, but architecturally interesting anyway.
Okay, so this is the point where in a future series we will end it. Well, we won't end it here, but somewhere up that way, I presume. And basically, this is the meeting of the River Beal and the River Roch.
Yes.
So you've got the Roch swallows the River Beal right there, and continues its merry way all the way down to Rochdale.
Yep, you can see through the trees the not very salubrious estate of Belfield, which actually takes its name. It was originally Bealfield for fairly obvious reasons, and so yeah, this is the end of the Beal, but the road continues.
Very dystopian.
Okay, we're on the bridge carrying the busy A664 over the Roch. Still a plaque to commemorate that. And this is what the Roch looks like looking back towards Small Bridge. And this is sort of the last semi-rural bit of the Roch for quite a while. And beyond, going up the road, is the area I mentioned of Belfield, but we'll cross the road for a look at the Roch going into Rochdale.
Please do remember, viewers, if you're going to cross the road, do it safely.
So yes, this is the Roch going forward towards the centre of Rochdale now. Okay, well this is the Roch looking back towards Small Bridge. You can see it's getting wider now since it's been joined by the Beal, and winding its way between modern industrial premises. And this bridge is very much an ethnic dividing line. On this side you've got Belfield, and basically that's poor white, and on this side Entwistle Road, which is pretty much pure Asian. So this bridge symbolises a bit more than just a crossing point.
Is that actually known for that, or is it just...
Well no, it's just the way the housing pattern has gone in Rochdale.
By the way, like, if you're sensitive, no, we're not racist.
And here is the Roch going forward towards Rochdale. A bit of rubbish, but also the odd duck, which is nice to see.
Where's the duck?
Just flew off that way, Simon.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're now in Roch Wood, a little oasis just off Entwistle Road, and I've never been here before, would you believe that? I've gone past, I've driven down Entwistle Road many times, but never realised it was here. You've got a functional footbridge over the Roch, which is joined by a little tributary brook. I think I'd have to look that up really. I'm not going to try and guess what it's called, but yes, swelling the Roch even further. Now this whole area is interesting because when I was very little, coming in the bus to Rochdale, there used to be an enormous red brick viaduct here taking the old Rochdale to Whitworth and Bacup line over the Roch. That had long since closed, but the viaduct was still there. And then they decided to dynamite a couple of the arches to make room for some housing. But when the dynamite went off, everyone had come to see it, and the whole viaduct came down. It was an absolute miracle that nobody was killed, because it certainly wasn't planned to bring the whole thing down, and it sort of left a big hole in the landscape, which I guess this has helped to fill. So interesting.
It was actually round here.
Yeah, it would, you know, cross the river round about here. I don't know how much of the old line you can still trace, probably not much there. And there you see the Roch heading right for the centre of Rochdale.
Right, can I just ask my question to the viewers,
Yeah.
so that if anybody's knowledgeable about the area, they can tell us. If this is the River Roch, why do we pronounce the town as Rochdale? Like, seriously, like, you know, shouldn't it be Rochdale?
It probably should. Good question.